Yeah.
My name is Cooper Burke, and I'm here with Cage Steel welterweight Sam Hewitt. How's it going, Sam?
I'm good. Pleased to be here.
Good. So on June 25th, you make your amateur debut. Tell me what that's like.
Like the training, or
Just like what is it? How does it feel for you to kind of, fight for a legitimate promotion, and make that jump?
Yeah, terrifying, man. To be honest, I'm nervous and excited all at the same time, and it is a big jump. Like I've done one cage fight before, and it was like an ultra MMA fight, so it's like a charity fundraiser type thing, and it's still had like amateur rules, but with certain limitations on it. But since doing that, I've really enjoyed it. I really love jiu-jitsu. I really love MMA, and I just thought, yeah, I'll go for it and see what lies. So yeah, and to answer your question, mix of emotions, excitement, nerves, all the good stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Do you have any are there any scenarios you play out in your mind, or are you just going to go out there and see what happens?
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to have an idea about what I want to do, and I've thought of negative consequences, thought of positive outcomes as well. As I've got closer into the prep, it's definitely been a lot more positive, and I've got an idea about what I want to do. But everyone has a plan, right? And until they actually face the fight. And last time I kind of had a plan, and it didn't go according to plan. So I was able to still get the win. But like I said, I'll be prepared for any outcome.
Yeah, it's like that Tyson quote. It's everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and this is literal here.
Yeah, no, that happened to me last time. I got punched in the mouth, and some people got asleep, but it woke me right up in the last cage fight. I was like, oh wow, okay then. I need to take you down and do something about this because I don't want to get hit again. So
you're a former bodybuilder, junior Mr. Universe, junior Mr. Britain. Tell me a little bit of where did you get the idea to go to MMA?
Well, I kind of reached my peak in bodybuilding in 2018. And after I won the universe, a few weeks after, I got kind of down, and I was dealing with a knee injury at the time, and it was chronic tendinopathy, and I of my quad and patella tendon, and I had it in the summer of that year of 2018, but I carried on training throughout, and I wasn't going to pull out of the universe because I'd qualified. All right, well, I had to qualify for the universe in the Mr. UK. I'd done well in the Mr. Britain, obviously winning the Mr. Britain. I competed in the World Championships in the NABBA Worlds. I come third in the Mr. World. Should have won that show, but it's my own fault with the diet. And either way, so I carried on training, had this injury, and then it just got more and more chronic. And as soon as I won the universe, I think come that December, it was just hard to train at all. So my legs kind of got a bit weaker. Went to various physios to try and rebuild it. And I think I just lost a little bit of interest in it because I couldn't go 100% in my training. And when I couldn't go 100%, it was kind of like a mental block for me. I was like, well, what's the point of doing it if I can't give it my all, And in that mentality as a bodybuilder, it's kind of all or nothing, and that's what I live by. It was whatever it takes, nothing else matters. I give 100% in every workout. And when I couldn't because of an injury, it was really, really hard. And I'd also lost my job, and I'd also lost a relationship as well that December, all at once. Tragedies come in threes. So I was injured, lost my job, and lost my girlfriend as well. So that was really tough. So 2019, it was a bit of soul searching, bouncing from job to job. I ended up starting my business, personal training business, doing that. And I started watching a lot of UFC, and obviously, main characters that come to mind, obviously Conor McGregor, the face of MMA at the time. I think there was a lot of him and Nate Diaz and the stuff about that. It just got me interested, and I remember it was saying UFC 260 or 2 whatever, and I was like, I wonder what the first one looked like. So I typed in on YouTube UFC 1, and then that absolutely blew my mind. It was obviously taking. Have you seen UFC 1? I assume. Yeah. So obviously taking loads of different martial arts, putting them all together, and I saw Ken Shamrock, and I was like, oh wow, this guy looks like a bodybuilder, and I was like, that guy's pretty cool. I bet he's going to win. And then obviously Hoist Gracie won, and it was jiu-jitsu that came out on top. So I was like, oh, this jiu-jitsu thing's pretty cool. Also listened to a lot of Joe Rogan, and he talks a lot about it. So I was like, okay, I want to maybe start this martial arts, and that's kind of what drew me to starting jiu-jitsu and MMA. But yeah, mainly jiu-jitsu to begin with.
Mm-hmm. So. Now that you've made that jump, is there anything mentality-wise or any lessons you've learned from your time at the top of the bodybuilding circuit that you've carried over to your time training?
Yeah, dieting's easy. Like, I know a lot of people do weight cuts and everything, to get in shape or to make weight. I've done loads of different diets, and I've dieted for long periods of time. So to me, it's easy. Like, I used to have like 7-8 meals a day of clean food, and without fail, getting ready for competition. So when there's fighters that struggle with weight losses and cuts and stuff like that, it's not very hard for me, just because I've done it so often. But it's changed slightly. Like, I don't eat as many frequent meals as that. But yeah, I think the mentality and staying disciplined with diet is a lot easier. Also, I guess my pain threshold at times, because I was a big fan of high intensity training. Like Dorian, I don't know if you know Dorian Yates, but the Dorian Yates style of bodybuilding training. So pain threshold and pushing myself in the gym and workouts, I think that translated well over to MMA. But a lot of the intensity that I got out of that was very ego enhanced. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the fucking strongest fucking bodybuilder, put everything in a set. But when you're rolling with someone, or when you're doing MMA, you've got to be a lot more controlled about that. So there was a bit of the mentality wise, it's good. I've got that high work ethic, but at the same time, I had to kind of dial it back a little bit with training with other people. So I'm not too aggressive, but also not too unassertive that, we can't have a good workout together. And I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to hurt my training partners. You know what I mean? So it's all control.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty profound. In my time with interviewing fighters, I've never really gotten that. A lot of guys I've talked to, they've been just all out. I don't care if I kill the guy. So that's a little refreshing to hear. I like that.
I'm a nice guy, man. Like, I like, when it comes to my training partners, like, we're trying to better ourselves, aren't we? We're trying to develop the skills. So I'm not going to try and take my own training partner's head off because he's not going to want to, or she's not going to want to train with me again. Whether it be MMA or jiu-jitsu or whatever, like, yeah, we can go intense, we can roll hard, but at the end of the day, that person's putting a bit of trust in you so that you don't, harm them, but you can better them, if that makes sense. So, but in a fight, it might be different, then I'll go 100%. But when in the training side of things, there'll always be, it's controlled aggression, controlled violence, I guess. So.
Over to your opponent a little bit. I've done a little bit of research. Is there any acrimony towards your opponent, or is it just all business?
What you mean? Do I have bad feelings towards him?
Yeah.
No, I don't know him. I don't know him really. I know he's a tough lad. I saw that he's a cancer survivor, and I know he's had like mental health. I think he mentioned that he had mental health issues. I don't want to say something that ain't true. But look, there's no animosity towards him unless he starts attacking me, and then maybe I'll have something to say. But I try and sorry, I'm not like a egotistic, Conor McGregor wannabe trying to big up the fight. Like, I don't know the guy. I just know he's brave and he's fucking got balls, because he's going to step in the cage with me and he's going to want to fight. And I'm sure he's just as determined and working just as hard as I am. So, me personally, I've got more respect for him for that, because he's willing. I think he's doing his debut as well. So he's willing to do it. He's fought some hard battles, with, mental health and illnesses. So I know he's a tough lad. and I hope that he'll bring the best version of himself. I'm definitely going to bring mine. We'll fight, hopefully shake hands after, and the better man will win.
That's pretty deep. There's a lot of like people always say there's respect between opponents, but I do think that's his debut, and I think he seems to be just as excited as you are.
Good.
I know you've got nerves, but have you looked ahead at all, or is there anything? Is this like what you want to stick to, or could you see making a career out of this, or is this just a one-off thing?
I mean, I've barely got started, first of all, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the next big thing and all that. Like, I need to fight, and trust me, man, I get whooped in the gym by higher belts and like tough MMA, pro MMA fighters and stuff like that. So, I'm humble enough to know where I'm at right now, but I have a very strong work ethic. I train, every day, multiple times a day, and I love the process and the journey that I'm on. So I was in the mentality that I was going to be the next biggest bodybuilder. I was going to be like a professional bodybuilder, and I was going to be on the Olympic stage, and life kind of happens. Sometimes things don't go according to, I don't think anything ever goes according to plan exactly. So I will go where my heart takes me, if you know what I mean. I love the process. I love MMA. I love jiu-jitsu. I love the people that I train with at AVT, the people that I train with at Gracie Barra in Leeds. And yeah, I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the ride. So as long as I still got love for it, which I currently do, and a lot of it, I'm going to keep on pushing and keep trying to better myself. And I won't say no to it. I won't say no to professional career if I get there. And I won't say no to anything else that comes after that. So yeah, I'm just willing to put in the work. So we'll keep on doing this and see where it takes us.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of where you are. I've talked to several people. They kind of say the same thing, but I think do you still have any of that love for your former profession of bodybuilding, or are you kind of over and done with it?
I don't know. Currently I'd say yeah, but I still love it. Like, I still got an admiration for bodybuilding. There's definitely things about it that I don't miss. And ever since coming over to like doing jiu-jitsu and MMA, it's everything else kind of gets boring. It's like, and plus it's like good life skills as well. I like the fact that I can, I've got a better chance of defending myself if things ever got violent. And there's a massive community aspect with martial arts too, and you don't have that with bodybuilding. In bodybuilding, it's very much like about you, and in MMA and jiu-jitsu, it's more than just, you can't train, but you can't do it by yourself. You've got to be around people to do it. So, but yeah, I'll never say never. I'll see what happens. Did you have any bodybuilding idols? And I mean, now, do you have any guys in the mixed martial arts community that you're trying to kind of model yourself after or look towards as an example? In bodybuilding, I really liked like classic looking bodybuilders. So, obvious one, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I liked a guy called Bob Paris, Francis Benfuato. These are a bit like Francis Benfuato and Bob Paris and stuff. Lee Labrada. They're probably not as commonly known, but if you type them up, like they're really like very aesthetically pleasing looking bodybuilders. And I think classic physique is where I wanted to go, as far as fitting in regards to bodybuilding. As far as martial artists that I like, inspire. I mean, the obvious one right now would be Charles Oliveira. I think he's elite and jiu-jitsu guy and really well-rounded, tough. It's not always gone his way either. He's had setbacks and stuff, but still came out as the champion. I like a grappler called Owen Livesley, who's he's like a former Commonwealth champion, big, massive judo guy. I think he just recently got his black belt. He's really someone that I really like. Gordon Ryan as well, like no-gi jiu-jitsu competitor. I think he's excellent. but yeah, I mean, there's a lot that comes to mind. Hickson Gracie as well. I think he's got a really cool. I mean, if you've seen Chuck, like that's just an absolute epic, old school kind of film. So yeah, I'd probably say like them and my training partners, everyone that I train with. Danny Mitchell, like he's definitely up there for me, and the people around me that I train with, they're tremendous. So there's not like one set individual with MMA, but yeah, everyone that I train with, and those few that I just mentioned.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Owen Losey on the same card as you, or is he?
I don't think, mate. If he is, I'm buzzing. I'm definitely watching that fight. As soon as I've done mine, I'm sitting in the crowd and I'll get some popcorn ready and start watching. But I don't think he's on the same crowd. I don't think he's on Cage Steel. He's been on Cage Steel before.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on Cage Steel.
Yeah, he's definitely fought on Cage Steel before, but I don't think he's on this one. If he is, like, that's great. I'd love to watch him fight live. But no, I don't think so.
You don't have any expectations for this fight, like you said. What would be a successful outcome for you?
Winning. Winning will be the successful outcome, or the minimum learning, learning what I did wrong or learning what I could have done better, if it doesn't go my way. But I'm not competing to take part. I'm competing to win. Like, I got to get that straight. Like, I do really, really want to win, and I want to make sure that I'm going to do everything it takes to do that. And currently, I'm not missing my training. I'm staying consistent with that. Pushing myself every day, eating well, taking it seriously. So yeah, but winning would be ideal.
That's awesome. So I know you said you're on the topic of eating well. You mentioned this earlier, and I've been kind of turning this question over in my head for the past 10-15 minutes. So when you were at your bodybuilding peak, how many calories would you say you ate a day? And then compare that to what you're eating around now. Like, what does your diet look? Compare that to like what your diet looks like now.
It depends if I was like getting ready for a show, or if it was in the off season. If it's in the off season, it could have been like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 calories like a day. I was a big boy. I used to be quite fat actually when I was in my off season. When I was like, it really varied from show to show because I competed as young as 18, and then when I got ready for the universe, when I won the universe, I was 21. When I was 18, I think the lowest I got to was like 1,000 calories, maybe less. And I was just dying, and I wouldn't necessarily look better for it either. When I got ready for the universe, I was still having like 6 meals a day. I think 6-7 meals a day, and that might have been around the lowest, maybe 2,200 plus, twice a day cardio, weight training on top of that. So it's hard because like I had a lot of it wrote down in my own little notebooks and stuff, but yeah, something like that. But now my calories vary. If it's welterweight, I can eat a bit more, so it might be like 2,500, 2,600. When I'm getting ready for like a lightweight bout, it might be at the lowest 1,900 or 2,000 calories, something like that. But yeah, it's still strict. It's not as regimented. It's not as like going off the clock as it was with bodybuilding. I'm a lot more laid back, but like I say, as long as I make weight and I can function well, I can train well, it doesn't really matter too much.
Do you foresee weight cutting being an issue for you, just because you've been at that size with bodybuilding, or is this kind of smooth? Has this been smooth sailing for you so far?
It's been pretty smooth. Like, welterweight isn't a hard weight for me to get to. With welterweight, I've done jiu-jitsu competitions before, and I think with Empire, it's like under 79.5. The organization, like under 79.5 kilos. And this bout is 77. And I think I could have done 70 if I'd have started like really strictly cutting. I could have made 70. I think pretty well. But since it's my first time, I think I was advising my coaches not to worry about like a harsher weight cut. Just worry about the fight itself. And when I was peak bodybuilding and competing, I was like 90 kilos, so it was a lot heavier. But it was 2018 till I think 2020 I started, or I took my first class like in 2019 in jiu-jitsu, and started training consistently in about 2020s. But by that time, I'd already lost like quite a bit of weight, and over the course of another, like, 2020, 2021, 2022, I just lost more and more and more, lost weight and lost a lot of muscle as well, because I wasn't bodybuilding. I was trying to train for function, not just, mass and muscle.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know the metric system, 98 kilos, is that what you told me?
I was 90 kilos.
90 kilos is around 200 pounds. So that's pretty big, man. Yeah. Do you miss walking around at that weight, or are you happy with where you are?
I mean, I like being big, but I was never proper fit. Like, I feel fit now. I feel like I can function. I'm athletic and flexible and fast. Like, but when I was back then, I was just strong and like massive and muscular. But it's different.
Yeah, like the guys that you see, they're like, oh, there's no way this guy with a beer gut can lift as much as he does, and he goes out and like the world strongman kind of guys. You had a gut on you.
I did when I was like 18. I was 16 stone when I was 18, so that was like 220 pounds. But I was overweight. I was kind of overweight. I just thought I'd eat big to get big, and I did what some silly bodybuilders did. And I think Jay Cutler, a bodybuilder called Jay Cutler, said he ate 1,000 grams of carbs a day. So I was like, well, if Jay does it, then I'll do it. And I struggled to get to that, but I was just overeating like crazy and not eating all the greatest food at 17, 18. But yeah, sorry, what was the question? Yeah, completely sidetracked there.
Sorry. It was you're happy being with where you are now, weight-wise?
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%. I don't mind being a lot lighter for MMA. I wouldn't be able to function if I was 90 kilos. I wouldn't be able to I'd be getting injured again. Like, that was a big problem that I had when I went from bodybuilding to jiu-jitsu and MMA. It was kind of like transitioning of like, I'm gonna have to lose a bit of mass so I can train more frequently in jiu-jitsu, because my tendons were always worn out, and the workouts that I did weight training wise, I was going like 100%, going to failure, doing a lot of volume on top of that. And then if I was to like roll after, I mean, my tendons would just be like absolutely battered. So now I have to kind of dial it back a little bit on the intensity and frequency of my weights, and do it so it complements MMA, not the other way around. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I feel good. I feel good this weight.
Good. Is there any last comments you want to make? Anything you want to tell us to watch out for, or that sort of thing?
For the fight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I wish I had a speech prepared or something like that. No, look, I'm going to bring my absolute best. This guy that I'm fighting, he's going to be hungry as well. I know he's going to be determined. So, I think it's going to be a case of him trying to absolutely knock me head off on the feet, and I'm going to try and take him down and break his arm or strangle the guy. So yeah, it's going to be violent, and you've got two hungry lads that are wanting to win. So yeah, hopefully it should be a barn buster or a big fight. So looking forward to it. God, I'm not good at this promotion shit.
Hey man, it's all right. It's all right. I think you speak for me too. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll see where I am, and I'll try and find the fight over here. But best of luck to you, sir. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the 26th.
26th, 25th, I think.
25th, yeah.
Yeah, you might see me. I mean, if you want to do another interview after the fight, I don't mind talking about it. So, if you fancy it, but yeah, I'll see you on the 25th. Happy to do this.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a great day.
No problem. See you soon, man. You too.
See you, Sam.
Bye.